What up, is Marcus Dyson with Dads. We have week one benches and starts for wide receivers now. Now we have three good ones, three bad ones. We're going to always start off. I like to start with the bad stuff here. Get the bad stuff right off the bat. By the way, new to the channel, DeAndre Swift signed jersey, given away at 2K for free. All right, number one. Buffalo was the best passing defense last year. I know that Pat Mahomes, even in the playoffs, torched them a little bit here. 176.7 yards per game. They do face the Rams. And I think when you look at 177 yards per game, how many yards do you expect Kupp to get out of that portion? A little bit of running backs, a little bit of tight ends, maybe 20 yards here, 20 yards there. Really, you don't have many yards left to spare. So I think this is a big bench Allen Robinson time. And I think this is going to be Van Jefferson or if he's healthy and he starts, or any other aspect, Higbee, or any other player that you have an idea of. I think this is going to be a bench time for them. I think Buffalo is very stingy against them, and I feel like this is going to be a Cooper Kupp show. This is going to be a Matthew Stafford show. I understand this is going to be high over-under when it comes to points, but I still think that Thursday is going to be the Cooper Kupp show. I think it's going to be the pass weapons for Josh Allen and maybe like Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis, maybe even a little peek of Isaiah McKenzie in there too. But I think this is going to be Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp trying to figure it out with a lot of Henderson, a lot of even Akers kind of splitting the run game and trying to pound it through Buffalo here. Number two defense in the NFL last year, 191.6, but had 127 yards in the last three. So a really stingy defense towards the end of the year. It was Chicago's defense. I know they lost some pieces, but they're against San Francisco. They had a 40.5 over-under, a low over-under. So caution with Kittle. You're starting Kittle. Debo, I think, is going to be fine because you're getting him out of the backfield. But this is a big concern, again, for Trey Lance if you're expecting his... this would be if I have two close quarterbacks, I'm trying to bench Lance, if possible, right off the bat until I see what I get. If you have a Wilson and Lance, or you have a Rodgers and Lance, which I've seen a lot of Lance was kind of in that area where a lot of times people took two QBs in redraft. So I am trying to bench Lance, and Ayuk is somebody I am staying far clear from week one. And he seems like half the times he's in Shanahan's doghouse anyways. But Brandon Ayuk is definitely somebody that I am I'm trying not to start unless I am absolutely desperate, and I even in those situations trying not to start him. Again, New Orleans, this is a little bit different defense. They're 14th, so kind of middle of the pack, but they were really good the last three games, 153 yards per game, and they're against Atlanta. So if your name is not Kyle Pitts, then I am not playing you. Whether it's, I know that I saw somebody even talking about Bryan Edwards. No, not Bryan Edwards. No Olamide Zacchaeus, and no Drake London. I know Drake London is potentially expected to play. I mean, his knee's still up in the air, but I am not starting Drake London. No way, no how, not going to happen. I will start Kyle Pitts, and that's about it. And Cordell Patterson on the backfield. I'll start him probably a flex position at running back. The good. Now let's go to the good. Let's go to the happy. Number 32 overall, and I blame this a lot on Joe Burrow. 270 yards against per game and 344.3. That is where Joe Burrow abused them. So, they play the Jets, and Jets, a lot of times we're talking about the Jets being potentially bad, even with Joe Flacco now expected to start the first quarter of the season, or close to the first quarter of the season. This is Elijah Moore, and I think even Garrett Wilson is a big start here for both of those wide receivers in redraft. I love this matchup, especially for Elijah Moore. I feel like you're going to see a lot of Joe Flacco and Elijah Moore. Garrett Wilson, I think you're going to have him gradually. It's going to take him a little bit more time. But against Baltimore, who, again, is a bunch of holes in the defense. I know that some of it was injuries too with Baltimore, but I see this being a sneaky high-scoring-ish game, like a 35-24 or 35-21. And in three touchdowns, I could easily see Joe Flacco have two of them, one to Moore, one to Wilson, and then Breece Hall having some success running and out of the backfield as well. Number 31 defense was Seattle. They had 265.5 yards per game. They faced the Broncos. So this is just a start your Sutton, start your Judy. You probably drafted him to play him, and these are times to play him. Especially over even the Ayuks and the Allen Robinsons, which maybe I know Allen Robinson was drafted sometimes ahead of like a Jerry Jeudy, but I am starting both Broncos wide receivers, and this is good DFS too. Think about these plays in DFS as well, because DFS is, I mean, if you don't have these players, DFS is kind of fun too. So again, Broncos player, start them with confidence. And number 28, my Vikings, Skol, they were 252.9 yards. It was bad. And 256.7 in the last 3. It just wasn't great. And I would say we haven't made drastic improvements quite yet. And it's going to take some rookies to fill in to be a successful defense, or at least middle of the road defense. And right now, I see this being a shootout with the Vikings and Packers. So find out. I think this is an Aaron Jones, big game for Aaron Jones out of the backfield. And we just got to figure out if Allen Lazard's going to play or not. If Allen Lazard plays, he's a definite start, potentially even a DFS play here. And whoever else is going to be the rookie wide receiver. If it's going to be Dobbs, Watson over Dobbs, not Dubs, over Dobbs. But if Watson's not fully healthy or isn't playing, then we're going to have to start Dobbs. I would be okay with starting him the first week. Continue that preseason love and go into the regular season in here. But Allen Lazard is a for sure start, for sure DFS play. If he's healthy and actually goes on the field, I think this is Aaron Rodgers, a very good game for, again, Aaron Rodgers as well. So think, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, both going to have probably great starts to the season. And I see this, again, being a Vikings-Packers. Usually it's a bigger of a shootout, especially at home for the Vikings. Especially being in that dome, it just seems like a lot of points get scored. A lot of points were scored last year. It was super fun. It was slow in the beginning a little bit, and then it picked up speed and lots of scoring. So think of your Justin Jefferson. Think of your Dalvin Cook. Allen Lazard and Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon and Aaron Rodgers, all going to be successful fantasy plays in week 1, unless they do something weird like they did last year, week 1, and Aaron Rodgers decided the Packers didn't want to play week 1 against the Saints. But I digress, I think I call it. So, again, this is Marcus Nice with that. Peace out. We'll see you tomorrow.